Hey, it's Loner J. You see how the sound's working. So, yeah, I'm here in Omaha, and things are looking pretty bleak. I don't know how the signal strength is right now, by the way. It says it's at full, but that could mean next to nothing. I've got good internet as it is, but, well, they do anyway. Um, so, for those of you who don't know, I'm kind of fucked. Royally fucked, in fact, because, well, I'll give you a rundown of my original plan. I mean, I talked about it enough. My goal was New York to LA and then back again, stopping at people's places, going to places I've never been before. And when I hit Omaha, I kind of, well, I knew beforehand, knew in Chicago things were pretty rough. But when I hit Omaha, I realized I didn't have a leg to stand on. Now, my flight is on the 19th of March, and I've got a hostel lined up for 2 days. Then, there is a massive gap of time between then and now. And while I get paid once a week, it is not enough to get accommodation, bus fare, and food. Now, sometimes you get free breakfasts where you go or whatever. I've also been to couch surfing. They give you 10 free ones per week, 10 free requests. They can still be denied. So that ended up, I basically wasted the bulk of mine trying to get to Tucson, which failed completely failed to do, because Tucson to Omaha is so expensive. And if you're wondering why I didn't go to LA, I had a place lined up there. I sure did. But getting to LA would have been also highly expensive. I also tried to book a flight to LA. And this is where it really started the shit the fan. Hit shit the fan. That's the word I'm going for. So I was going to go to LA on Wednesday. So I booked off last week in Indy with Nick. I booked off my flight. And as I hit it, I don't know why this happened. It went from February to March. So I immediately cancelled it, and they said I'd get a refund sometime in March. So I don't have any money to get another one. So I can't go to LA, can't go to Portland, can't go to Seattle, I can't go to Tucson, I can't go to Albuquerque, can't go to Atlantic City, can't go to New Orleans, can't go anywhere. What I have to do now is backtrack. Maybe not go to exactly the same backtrack, but I have to get back to New York, and it's cheaper to get to New York in little jumps, especially if I find people for couch surfing. Problem with couch surfing is that I don't have the luxury of knowing if they're going to accept me or not. I've got one accept, and that was in Tucson. How great is that? There's a woman in Chicago who said she'd look into it for me. I told her my situation after she declined. She said, I've got a friend that can help you out, but I'm going through my own shit. Everyone's going through their own shit, so I totally understand. It's wild, so I'm not angry at my friends here for putting me up any longer than they already have. It doesn't help that I'm leaving on Valentine's Day on a Friday, so everything is going to be super expensive. That includes accommodation. I found a place in Chicago that I could, in theory, be put up with, but that means I've got to be homeless for roughly a day. And then I don't know where I'm going after that. It could be Tucson, not Tucson. It could be Toledo, or it could be Detroit. Now, I'm saying Detroit, even though I want to avoid Detroit like plague, because it actually has accommodation, where Toledo does not. It has no hostels whatsoever. Again, couch surfing, but I only have 10 of those per week. So I have to be very careful. Very careful. So, what I'm going to do is on Wednesday, I'll know if anyone around Omaha, because I'll stay in Omaha longer if someone can put me up. That's just the truth of it. But they don't know anyone who put me up even for a day. That's what they say. I'm going to talk to them myself. I don't want to guilt anyone. I don't want to browbeat anyone. But I am fucking desperate right now. Don't even have any money to get a haircut. Look at this shit. I'm turning into a trash hobo. I mean, I was always a trash hobo, but now I'm actually turning into one. So, fuck it. Fuck feeling embarrassed. Fuck feeling ashamed. I need you guys' help. That's what I need right now. I'm tired of feeling fucking ashamed and embarrassed about it. I'm not spending it on fucking booze. I'm not spending it on video games. I'm going to spend it on meals and keeping myself alive until Wednesday. Then I can fucking leg it. So, basically, the rundown is on Wednesday, I'll know how long I'll be staying in Chicago for out of my own pocket. Or even if I'm staying in Omaha for a few extra days. Then on Friday, off I go, Chicago. Then off I go to either Detroit or Toledo. The only reason I'd be going to Toledo is someone could put me up there. Then off to Cleveland, same principle. Then off to New York, where at least I don't have to worry about travel. That's true. I'd even bypass New York if like the prices weren't too bad, and I'll find accommodation there. Just long enough for me to survive. Now, New York is probably, if it was any cheaper to get to New York, I would. Just right now, I'd hop on a bus to New York and just spend my time in New York, because then I'm not paying for travel, which is on roughly between 20 and 30 a week. Which is another night in a hostel on average. Also, no joke, I have been looking into accommodation in the form of homeless shelters. That's the honest truth of it. It's good that it's there. I don't know if you have to be an American citizen or what. And I remember someone telling me that if push comes to shove, the embassy or the consulate in New York could help me out, or Chicago. But I want to get rid of all those shit, because the thing is, if I were to go to New York and Chicago, they'd help me out, but then I'd owe them money. And those of you who don't know, I'm going to be homeless when I'm back in Ireland, so I don't have the luxury of saving up and giving money back to the Irish government. So I don't have the luxury of that. Anyway, to a girl from Chicago just sent me an email. I'm going to find out now what I'm about to find out. She's with her friend to see if she could help me out. If she could, even for a day, even for a week. Well, a week ideally. But even like for a night. That's one night I don't have to worry about. No, I didn't get my hopes up. Go on. No, she basically said her friend doesn't want to be a part of couch surfing. Probably bad experience. I'll follow up on that later. Ask, well, do you have any advice on what to do and things like that? But yeah, I'm kind of fucked. So that's why I have no problem. In the description down below, you'll find PayPal. And I've already gotten some donations. I'm so fucking grateful for that. But it's not just going to be to get accommodation. It's going to also be eating. Forget drinking, okay? If I can scrounge up a 10, I've eaten enough for the day and whatever, I still probably won't spend it on booze. I've put 10 quid. I have to put 10 quid away for this Wednesday, and that's going to have to fucking do me until probably Paddy's Day. So Yeah, because I'm still going to Paddy's Day because I'm going to be in New York anyway, and I've got a travel pass that's got like $20 on it, so I might as well. But will I be drinking? I don't know. How fucking surreal will that be? Walking around St. Patrick's Day as an Irish person in New York, not drinking. But anyway, at least you get a good video out of it. I don't know. Like I've got problems to deal with when I go back. Like I said, I'm going to be homeless when I go back. If you don't know why I've done this trip at all, I broke ties with my mother. She is being a drain on me mentally, as I've desperately tried to make sure that she got the dreams that she wanted to live, but instead she wants to, as I say, squat in the mud. So I told her I was done trying to help her, and last time I put an olive branch out to her, she wasn't biting. So she's made her bed. I unfortunately don't have a bed. But I can deal with that back in Dublin. Like I'll Dublin's fine, but I got to get back to Dublin. Oh, Rivey, what's up? Yeah, I'm fucked. I'm royally fucked. My whole thing with Tucson was only the starting point. Would you believe though? I actually found someone on couchsurfing who was going to put me up. It actually gives me hope for future couchsurfing shit. But yeah, I'm I'm kind of desperate for money now, and more importantly, I'm also desperate for advice on what to do. Uh, my friends are kicking me out on Friday here. They're off at work right now, so I thought now would be a perfect time to stream and clear out the air. We already agreed that I would stay a week here. I'm going to ask some people I know around here, would they put me up for a day or something like that? But I don't see that happening. So on Wednesday, I've got to book myself a bus back to Chicago. I can't find anyone in Chicago on couchsurfing to help me out. So I have found a hostel that I can just afford. And thank fucking Christ that includes breakfast. I don't care if it's the most crappiest cereal with lukewarm milk. I will down 3 bowls of that a day. Just keep my fucking strength up. I've become pure hobo now. Because when I say just afford, I really fucking mean it. When I get off the bus, there's no point me going up to that hostel for about 8 hours, 9 hours. And the day I leave is a day earlier than I can, but I can just afford it. Because Friday, of course, being a very special day for 2 reasons, all the hostels will be incredibly expensive. So yeah, I need to find a place to crash. If not in Chicago, which looks like I can just manage Chicago, make money on the road. Yeah, well, I'm going to be live streaming a lot more and just basically shilling. It ain't going to be fun, but I'm not going to go upstairs because there's only the bedroom and the toilet up there, and that's their business. But we got tons of anime shit all around here. They really like their anime shit. And by the way, if it comes across that I'm not grateful for my friends for putting me up for a week, I am so fucking great. I'm always grateful. When times were good, they'd put me up for a week, and I was like, "Oh my god, thank you so much." Like, but of all the times I need a little bit more, it's a no go with them. They're not going to budge. So I'm kind of like, well, shit. Fair enough. Off I go. I'll give you a tour. I mean, why the fuck not? I'll just unplug this. There we are. They've also got their cat upstairs. She's incredibly shy. I've known her for years, and the only time she ever gives me the time of day is right on the last day I'm leaving. Little absence. She's so fat. Ugh, fat cat. Oh, but yeah. On Wednesday, they're gonna have a D&D night. They want me to play. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll play, but I don't know how much fun I'll be in the mood I'm in. There's there's some cosplayers from playing they're dressed up as Borderland characters. You can't really see well the camera being a piece of shit. I did find one interesting thing. I like the One Punch Man shit over there. Did find one very interesting thing. I there's this sort of survey thing you can do, and you make a few cents, maybe $1 at the most, but it doesn't accept non-American PayPal. So I'm just going to make as much money as possible and then just give it to Ashley as a thank you. I mean, fuck it. Little kitchenette for all their kitchen needs, all my kitchen needs too. I've been mostly living off bread while here, but we went for sushi. They treated me to sushi yesterday. That was very nice of them. You'll see that in the video. That's a bottle collection. I've given them a few bottles over the years during good times. There's their samurai, because of course they've got samurai swords. Most of this actually belongs to her. A lot of D&D stuff. Got a little bit closer. It's there. Game board. I've got a few options available to me come Friday on asking couch surfers again, but I have to be very careful. There's no point doing it in Chicago, so I'll probably start asking in Detroit or something like that, or maybe Toledo, and we'll see from there. It'd be so great if someone put me up in like Toledo for a week, because that means I wouldn't be paying rent, or I wouldn't be paying like fees for accommodation. But oh my fucking Christ, I would be able to save that money. Like, just save the whole money I get from the government back home. And then boom. Like, that's a nice little lump sum right there I can use to go to the next spot, and I wouldn't have to ask anyone for any help. Like, I just need a 1 week grace period, and I don't get it here because, well, I have to book off my next accommodation. What I really need is a 3 week grace period, but no one can put me up for 3 weeks. I mean, I keep myself to myself, but Jesus. Anyway, I am sorry I'm gibbering like crazy. You can see up there they've got more anime stuff. A lot of the cat usually sits down there. It's pretty nippy outside. I'm not going to open the door. You won't be able to see from the windows. There's no point. Let's sit back down. You know what the Midwest looks like, and if you don't, just picture a big empty field, and at this time of year, cover it with snow. There, that's the Midwest. You could always go to Seattle. I can't afford to go. My plan, see his age. Oh, I wanted to. I really fucking wanted to. That was my end goal. My original plan was to go to New York to LA. I've got family in LA, and he was going to put me up. But getting to LA from here was so expensive on the bus, I decided to get a flight, and I found a really good flight. Then I booked it, and I booked the flight, and as I hit like confirm, I don't know why this happened. I swear to fucking God, it went from February to March. So I immediately canceled it, and they said, "Oh, you're going to get your deposit back. You're going to get your refund back at the end of next month." I'll be glad when I get that money back. I kind of need it now, you know. But I was originally going to go to LA for a week, and then go up to Portland, stay with a friend who up to quite recently still thought this shit was happening. I'm like, oh, I have to break her heart. Then go up to Seattle, and then from Seattle, hell yeah, Billy said he would have been down for that shit. I would have done an IRL stream with Billy, and it would have been fucking amazing. I'd have then backtracked down to LA, gone down to see you there, Ribby, gone over to Albuquerque, then gone back probably up to here for a night, because, you know, they wouldn't have cared if I was just stopping off for a night or two. And then off I go again. Then I'd be heading back east. Or hell, I'd have bypassed Omaha altogether, gone to Texas, New Orleans, Florida, which Evan is in Florida. I probably would have popped down and see Evan. And then up to across all the way up the coast, and then boom. Yeah, there's no There's no DP. There's no GFF. There's no J. There's no U. There's no fucking. At least I got to see Marshall and Faith. That was cool. Marshall didn't know you play his music a lot. He was very chuffed at that. But yeah, like I'll head up back eventually to New York. I've got a hostel waiting there for me. And Paddy's Day will be great, but I've got to survive until then. Like, to put it in context, I have to find accommodation now for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, give or take a couple of days. Chuffed. He was chuffed. That's a bit of English slang there for you. It means he was kind of real happy with himself. I'd have probably told Billy the same thing, and he'd be like, "Yeah." This sort of like little wiggle thing that he did. But yeah, no, seriously, he was happy as could be when I told him that. He actually asked, like, "Oh yeah, Ryby, I remember. Like, what's going on with Ryby?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, she's good. Sometimes she goes on a U binge, listens to your music." Yeah, he was very happy about that. Hanging out with Marshall and Faith was great. They even put me up for the night. I didn't realize just how tiny their place was. I wouldn't have agreed. I mean, I had a hostel that night, but they're like, we're too far away. Just crash with us. And I'm like, all right, yeah, sure. So I slept on their tiny little sofa thing. We watched 70s show and drank beer. It was good stuff. But he also played pool where he kicked my ass, as you well know. Actually didn't kick my ass anywhere near as bad as I thought. To the point where I think he was playing with me. If I ever meet that man again, I want a rematch. Surprised Faith and I didn't actually have a match. Nice, but they were one size too small. So I thought, I'll just endure it and I'll get used to it. I didn't get used to it. I wouldn't still be used to it. This whole trip since then, I've gotten me some slave feet. Yeah, I got me some nice tough feet. But the shoes I've got are fucking great. But like that was 45 quid. Did I have to spend that? No. Other times I have been very lucky. I've got meals bought for me, whole nights out bought for me. Like I said, went for sushi yesterday. That was great. Went for ice cream afterwards too. I've met a lot of really cool people. One thing about this country, oh my God, this is just driven home why I like America. You're also nice to me. You're also very, like, take that Italian woman. She could have just been platitude and just make up some shit and like, oh no, I don't know anyone. She actually went out of her way to ask someone about me. Someone who wasn't interested. But the fact that she asked at all was so nice. The fact that so many people were ready to go out of their way to, move their calendars around to make that shit work. I was so grateful. But even here, like Ashley and Steve, they want me gone by Friday, but at the same time, they could have just said no altogether. I could have shown up and be like, "Oh yeah, I've got no money." Oh my God, thank you so much. Oh, Ryby, thank you so much. Oh, that's gonna help. That is really gonna help. Yeah, I just got the notification now. Oh, it's the little things, Like at this rate, I've almost got enough for another night in one of the hostels. It's stuff like that. One extra day in a hostel is one extra day when I'm not out in the street. Failing that people have donated me. I keep this shit up, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to be eating fucking caviar and foie gras and shit like that. And if I'm smart, food, damn it. So thank you so much. Being a bit wonky. Hold on. Buy a single. Yeah, I mean, I'll be homeless. I can walk up to random people and be like, "Yo, dog. Hello, my fellow homeless vagabonds. May I request a single bit of the old crackadoodle? I have currency enough to buy a single unit of crackadoodle." Yo, dog, I don't think you need any more than shit you already got. After that, see, I'm the old crackadoodle now. That's what we call it back home. It's hit Dublin the past few years. Crackadoodle. I mean, I'll tell you, I've been smelling a lot of the devil's lettuce. That's for sure. Not in Omaha, really. No more than normal. But in say Chicago, where it's legalized, everyone stunk of it. But I never saw a dispensary. It was weird. I saw plenty of dispensaries and CBD oil places in Canada, though. Oh, and Illinois. Anyone who's from Illinois will know what I'm talking about. They have signs in the highway now, the sort of, like delays, the LED delay things. And it's like, got the munchies? Question mark. Have your food delivered. Don't drive. Hi. Finally, public service announcements that affect me as an individual. No, I've had an absolutely great time on this trip. It might seem like I'm freaking out because I am. There's no way around it. I am freaking out. I mean, when you don't know what your future's going to be, you have no other choice but to buckle down. But there's going to be times when you can't buckle down enough. Hiya, Dark Elite. But, despite the fact that I'm clearly freaking out over this shit, I am still fucking absolutely glad I came, to the point where when I get back home, you can't kill what was never alive. But when I'm back home, I will and get back on my feet, get myself an apartment, get a nice routine going. I will, and by the way, I actually have tons of options there. Claire, God bless her, she's been sending me links to accommodation websites and things like that, and I can afford them. They're not going to be cheap, but I could afford them. And that's all that matters. But the once I'm back on my feet, I'm coming back to America, and I'm going to do regional. I'm not going to do I'm not going to do like the whole country. That's clearly beyond me because I don't know how to fucking save and manage my money. But I can do the West Coast. I could spend 3 months in the West Coast, one state per month. That'd be pretty cool. With little breaks here and there. That's probably when I go and see you there, Robbie. But I can do that. I know Marcus, he'll put me up for a week. He said anytime. Oh, so the trip's cancelled? It's not cancelled. If it was cancelled, I'd already be back in Ireland. Yeah, I have to retreat. I have no money. I have not enough money to survive. In fact, I'm going to be homeless when my friends kick me out on Friday. I'm actually going to be homeless by the looks of it, at least for a little bit. And then after Chicago, I will make my way back to Cleveland or Detroit or Toledo rather, then Cleveland, then New York. And then when I get back to New York, I just have to survive long enough for my hostel to become available, which won't be so bad because I won't have to worry about travel. And maybe someone on Couchsurfers. Yeah, I'm serious. I was looking earlier today at homeless shelters. That's how worried I am of this whole situation. So I have no problem shilling. if you have anything, $1, some advice on where to stay in like fucking Cleveland, anything, I'll take it. I've been very, very lucky so far. People have been very generous. Rabi throw some money. Friend of mine threw some money earlier. That alone, that amount that I've gotten there, will keep me fed for about 3 days, maybe even longer. So fuck yeah, anything would be amazing. Not required, always. I don't care how homeless I am. I'm not going to turn into a Onision where I'm like, you don't have $1? How pathetic. Come on, man. How worthless are you? You don't have a single dollar? No. No, I'm not going to do that. That's my Onision voice, by the way. Oh, I'm glad that it's kind of dying off now, that shit. I mean, even Repsion's talking about other things now. I wouldn't say I was completely out of the loop. I got like little updates. Ryby, again, you were a big help for that. You filled me in on the whole Chris Hansen thing. I have no cash, give sadly, but you've thought about contact embassy. Worst case scenario, yes. Worst case scenario, I will. Embassy is not even all that much of a problem because Chicago and New York both have consulates. Make sure I'm fed. Get me a haircut. But then I'm off back home, and they'll send me the bill. So, church you can sleep in, and I have been thinking about that too. But no, right now I'm in the couch surfing and hostels for a few nights scenario. Next week I might be in the homeless shelter scenario, and after that, oh, by the way, Elite, you're grand. You're grand. And I might even get lucky here in Omaha. One of their friends, there's going to be a big party on Wednesday. And if that's the case, I'm definitely going to just ask people I kind of know. Is it all right if I crash? Because you see, I'm leaving on Friday, and that's a big problem. Because Friday is, if I'm right, Valentine's Day, and it's also Friday, where the weekend prices skyrocket for hostels. The weekdays are manageable. Weekends are not. So I have to basically endure. And if that means being out in the street for like an hour, that's fine. 6 hours, doable. 12 hours, that's where it gets tricky. 24 hours, I've done it without even thinking about it. But I mean, like, where do I go? I hop on the subway. Okay, there's money wasted right there. Take like the longest subway ride they have. Doable. I'm actually thinking of doing that. If that kills like 2 hours, I'll do it. Fuck it, I'll do it. From the start to finish, I'll go on the entire, say, Blue Line in Chicago. But then there's also a big problem of like doing that night on my own. I won't be the only homeless person doing that, and there won't just be homeless people down there. So I won't be able to sleep there, for example. I know a lot. I've heard. I was actually talking to someone who said, "Oh, I had to wait like 12 hours in New York for my flight, even to show up on the board. So I went on the subway from start to finish, and I had to sleep there." And I'm like, "Really? You were to sleep on a New York subway? Okay, that's cool." And then he said, "Oh, but I was with my friend." That shit can fuck off and die. I ain't got a travel buddy. I wish I did. I briefly asked Claire, would she like to come along? She probably would have kept me on the straight and narrow. We could have pooled our resources. But look, I've been gibbering and jabbering now for nearly 40 minutes. I could do with a break. So, how are you guys doing? How are you all doing? Take my mind off the inevitable homelessness of my existence. Teach me of your lives. How is work? How are your significant others, if you have them? Did you see any good movies? Did you watch the Oscars? I saw Joaquin Phoenix won Best Actor, and I saw Parasite, which I've only heard of, won Best Movie, which I know a lot of people are angry at because not white. Honestly, it could be good. Everything is good. I'm looking for something to watch and watch together. Watch together. I've actually been out of the loop for a lot of stuff. Ashley and Steve have their own channels. They like watching Yogscast and things like that. We sometimes watch the same stuff, extra credits and a lot of Warhammer stuff. It's weird. I was going. They were going through my channel, and my video for Indianapolis came up, and I was just, please wait. We would try to connect you. There we go. It's weird. Sometimes it does that, but it doesn't show any sign of it being lower. I've been keeping up with the news at home. Ireland is getting a very liberal government, or at least a very left-wing government. That does not mean liberal. But quick rundown. Ireland has a bunch of different parties, not just two. And, I know in America you've got a bunch of third parties that everyone makes fun of. This is the first time that these third parties are going to be actually in government, because the left-wing Sinn Féin party, which if you know anything about history is the party that the IRA made a shit ton of support for. They were basically the political wing of the IRA back in the 80s and 90s. They basically went out of their way to reform themselves after the whole terrorist thing kind of wind down. They're still very nationalistic. They want Irish to be more prominent as a language. They want more pushing for the North to be brought back into Ireland out of Britain's hand, blah, blah, blah. But that's not important, because they're also very good on like social services and, integration of more streamlined government issue, smaller government fees and tariffs, and basically just trying to cut down on money spending, give it back to the people, which good. Honestly, good. They won just enough that they could form a coalition government with the old school parties, Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael, and they didn't. And they turned to all the smaller parties, the Labour Party, the Anarchist Party, the fucking the People Before Profit Party, the ones that Claire really likes. And they're going to form a government with them, along a party government called the Coalition Party, which is the whole purpose of that party, is just to bring the smaller parties together enough to have a bigger vote. So Ireland is going to get a very left-wing government. So the fact that we're already very liberal these days, except for where I was living, up in Leitrim, there was some old holdouts there. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting time. A very interesting time. But anyway, hey bro, if you stick around here long enough, you can convince you convince voter fraud and help Bernie Sanders in office. Fuck yeah! If I miss my flight, I'm gonna go all the way in. I'm gonna start applying for work. I'm gonna stand out around Home Depot with all the Mexicans, and then someone's gonna come around and go like, "Can you carry sheetrock?" Yeah, I can. I can also speak English. All right, you're the foreman. You get $2 extra a day. Okay. I can only give it to you in out of my own pocket. Yeah, sure. Oh, all right. And listen, between you and me, if any of these wetbacks try to, get out of line, give them a good old whack. I'll put that one with a grain of salt, but the rest sounds great, buddy. But yeah, I'm serious that if I get stuck on this side of the Atlantic, yeah, I might even start panhandling on the street corner. I'll turn my hat upside down. I'll get like a piece of cardboard and a Sharpie back to Ireland. And if I do it around a really Irish part of New York or Chicago, they'll be like, "Oh, well, I'm from Ireland. Where are you from?" Blah blah blah, and they'll be like, "Well, the home country." Yeah, the home country. I've actually run across far fewer. Um, hey, workhorse, slave. It's really just depending where you go. It's just a particular type of thing. Hell, there's even a program in Chicago called it's called sort of like Deadbeats, and what it is, you basically just you clean. Oh, voice to text now, so I apologize. No, that's right. Yeah, no, I wish working in America was that easy. In actuality, they just work you to the bone. If you have a social security number, that means you get treated as a workhorse for policy. Yeah. Oh, I go. It's not like any time I've ever been on holiday in America, I've been in this rarefied place out of the way. Um, I am absolutely aware of the shit, the nuances, the healthcare. I've been terrified of having a single slip up because the best I could hope for is a free clinic. They'll be like, "Oh, you've got to go see an actual doctor." um, but in reality, I'm kind of fucked if I have a single fuck up. And I had that back problem a few months ago. I'm worried that one of these days I'm just gonna be walking down the street and sleep. What the fuck am I gonna do then? I'm gonna have to find an alleyway somewhere and just wait it out. Hell of a story if I ever get back home. Look at you fucking children. You have no idea what it's like to live. I spent 3 months in the streets of New York fighting rats and junkies. I was wondering how I got this scar. Me too. I was so high on bath salts I couldn't remember. You do what you can to survive. Hell, if I was a woman, I would seriously just open up a my free cams. I'm serious. I'd be just there like, right. Maybe they like chubby chasers. I don't know. I could be also like the pay pigs. Pay pig, you want to give me money? Um, I know good money for people who pay pictures of feet. Damn, my gnarly feet probably wouldn't be the most interesting. I'd have to get them dolled up. It would be an experience I don't think I'd tell many people. Wow, where did you get all this money from? Oh, I got a loan from someone. Uh, yeah, it just happened one day. Why do you think paid you? Yeah. No, I've been very lucky. I met some great people. Jack's Travels. You saw him back in New York. He's still on Instagram around, I think, Florida at this time. He's done my trip, but he did it with like the really fancy version. For example, I got to see the CN Tower from the outside. He got to go up on top of it. I will. That's one thing I can do in Chicago. I can go up to the Willis Tower and actually take a picture of it. I didn't do that for the Chicago this time around. In fact, you're probably going to have to wait for the Chicago video because I'm going to be in Chicago again. So I'll just take more footage and then just combine it to make a very big video. Um, especially because I didn't really have any money to go anywhere, and I don't really have any money now, but I've got plenty of time. And I think the snow is starting to give up over there. That was crazy. This is snow battering me. Can't go to that hostel though. The one I went to before. I have to go further up the blue line, but it's the same. It's the same line. Um, yeah, it was very heavily snowing. Uh, Toronto was nowhere near as bad actually. I imagine now it is. Although parts of Canada, I was being shown by one of the girls I met up there. She had the TV on and she was just flicking through it. Um, and like it was like snow so high up they opened up like the garage door, and it just was just absolutely like snowed in. Fucking insane. But yeah, I am. I'll probably end this in about 10 minutes. Expect to see me basically do this every day now. And again, I'm not going to lie for the reason I want to chat with you guys. It's cool to catch up, but low energy Batwater. Oh my god. Um, I'm not gonna say it's as bad as Egghead's tub, but well, it'll have its own unique, rich flavor to it. Yeah. Um, I do attract guys, so maybe I should go on like I can do things like just get hard while watching straight porn and being like, yeah, of course I'm looking at that dick pic you sent me, man. That's so hot. I want to uh suck it. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I is that what lesbians are like when they're on my free cams or some shit like that? Is that how they have to do that shit? Oh yeah, that dick. I really want to do things to that dick in graphic detail. Yeah, well that was easy. um But no, I've met some great people on this trip. Not as many as I liked, but who knows? Maybe I'll meet some cool people on the way back. I have a really cool habit of you know attracting people. I don't just mean guys either. I mean actually just attracting people as a rule that they want to talk to me and shit. So that'd be cool. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Tomorrow I will be back on probably about the same time, if not whenever whenever I can. Steve might be here. He's been. I don't know what his timetables are. They're very different than Ashley's, and we can do some. You can chime in. You can answer your questions. Be nice. He's been nice to me. Uh, actually, he's pretty fun. You guys might like him, but I need to. How to put this? I need to keep streaming every day now because on the off chance I get like a euro or someone goes, "Hey, I talked to my brother who's in Cleveland. He can put you up for a few hours." Yeah. Straight dudes on sites like that don't give a fuck. Yeah, it's like my own private Idaho. And that's cool. That's cool. I'd have to fake it like crazy. But yeah, I could do that. Not really my cup of tea, but you know, I get like $30. Of course, the thing about it is I can imagine the gay version of my free cams is all completely free for whatever you want because like women know how to stretch that shit out. Men, we kind of just there like, yeah, I'm as turned on as you are. Like why would they play coy? Um I'd prefer not to go down that route. Maybe after the Irish government kicks me to the curb and I'll be homeless in America, I miss my flight or whatever. Maybe then I'll go to the game my free camps. And you know what else? Actually, if I did that, I probably wouldn't hide it either. I'd just be like, yeah, well, I've always been on this side of the camera. It's time I get on that side of the camera. See what that's like. And who knows? Maybe I'll be so good at it, it'll become my new side job. And I can show Ryby Jenkins how it's fucking done. Oh no, I'm not going to take my clothes off. I want to get down to Mando. Bitch, please. Do you see where this thing is going? I'm the bear of your dreams. Oh, desperate. And you know what? I'd pick that over begging on the street. Of course, I need an internet connection. Whatever. Anyway, 7 minutes to go. So, yeah. Today, I don't think there's much going on. Steve and Ashley will be back sometime next few hours. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go and play some of the crappy games that work on this. And if you're wondering why I don't stream those crappy games, have you seen the lag with me just opening up another tab? You think Streamlabs fucking works? So I'll be playing some games on this myself, pass the time. Do some of those surveys, make a few extra dollars or a few extra pennies rather. So when the time comes, I can give Ashley a little bit of a payback. I wish I could take that money. I can take that money. Who knows? Maybe I'll give it to her and she gives it right back to my PayPal. That'd be kind of cool. But she doesn't have to do that. This will be my gift. Like, we had a big, big plan. Yeah, I've almost got $3 on this thing, but for doing jack shit, which is pretty cool. I imagine Americans. By the way, if you want to do that, if you don't care about grinding surveys, you go to Q me with 2 E's and install the extension on the side, and you will basically just have to do surveys every once in a while, which will net you anywhere between $1.50 to like 45 cents. They're all free. They also might reject you if you don't hit their standards. But also, as you go around doing your random Google searches and the like, occasionally, like 4 or 5 cents will be just given to you. So that's pretty cool. I kind of wish I could use it, but I can't. But I can give it to Ashley as a thank you. God damn, my nose is itchy. I think I'll go and play some Fallout. I'll go and play some. I got New Vegas to run on this thing, fairly decently too. I'll go play some Crusader Kings. I'll see about getting the TVs working so I can watch some YouTube while I'm doing that. And I'll just, mostly I just want to keep this place clean. I don't want people turning around and say, Dylan, it's one thing that you're living with us, but could you at least not make a mess? So I'll keep trying to keep my best to keep the place clean. In fact, when they get back, they've got tons of dishes. I'm just going to ask when they're gone, do you want me to do them? It's a nice thing to do. They're also piling up like crazy. And it'll be something to do that's proactive. I'm also going to, at some point, just have a quick... Oh, on Wednesday, I'm going to walk up to the mall, make a little video from that. Don't think I can do a live stream. I've tried to do a live stream like 2-3 years ago from the mall. I think the mall's called like Crossroads or Westroads or something like that. But it's a cool enough mall. I'll bum around there. I don't think I can buy anything. I'll have money, but I don't think I can buy anything. I might pop into the food court, get something there, a Subway or something. That'll be nice. But I'll pick something up and then come back here. It'll give me something to do. And then D&D is on Wednesday as well, so I'll go and do that. My first time ever playing D&D. Check out my Instagram, which I haven't been linking to as of late. Check the next stream tomorrow, and I'll have the Instagram link down there below. Beyond all that, I don't want you to come across like I'm gonna start like demanding money off you, because I can't do jack shit to demand anything. But anything you could give me over the next, well, until early March, I will use to keep myself alive and hopefully sheltered. So it would be highly appreciated. But again, not required. When I get back home to Ireland, well, that's my own new level of bullshit, but I know Ireland. I just need to get my travel pass off Claire, and then I've got free travel. Then that's it. Like, that's it. But until then, I'm going to leave now. I want to thank Ryby, not just for showing up, but also for the donation, for Darker Elite for showing up, keeping me company, and for I also want to apologize to both of them for not being able to see them. And I also want to thank, well, just thank anyone who watches in the future. Above all else, like, share, and subscribe if you're not already done so. This is still going to be a travel channel. You're still going to see travel. I'm still going to upload travel. I can walk around for free. I can see sites. I can retrack old sites. When I'm in Cleveland, for example, I didn't go to convention center. When I go to Cleveland, I'm going to go to the convention center. It's that simple. I even don't worry too much about the bus. I'm starting to lag now and everything. Thank you so much for watching. And by the way, if this is going to start putting you off me shilling, the link's down. And we aren't done yet. Bye.